Well, this is probably going to be a quieter, not quite ASMR, because it's like 11 at night. And unfortunately, there's family. So please excuse my very low voice. I'm trying not to be too loud, so yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Kaylin and welcome to my channel where we discuss, break down, and recommend movies and TV shows and occasionally other forms of media. Well, here we are, the last episode of Channel 5 Anne Boleyn. I can't believe we are almost at the end of this saga. We're almost there, so bear with me. This is the review for the final episode. Then the next video is going to be the over review, and then we're done. We can move on with our lives and continue with our suffering. I can't wait. I can't wait to suffer more. Also, I forgot to rate episode 2. Sorry, the heat was scrambling my brain. It was disgustingly hot, but quickly the rating for episode 2 was a 8.5. It was a very good episode in my opinion. We're back to a semi-organized set with good sound. So let's get with the synopsis. In the finale of Anne Boleyn, everything is in the basement of hell. Nothing is going Anne's way. Henry VIII, the king of douchebaggery and the Earl of Trashbag, arrests her with the help of his crony chief of staff, Thomas Cromwell. Anne is locked in the Tower of London. She can't even say goodbye to her daughter Elizabeth. Almost all of her allies have abandoned her, and now she's really left to fend for herself. Anne is accused of treason, adultery, and incest with her brother George, who is also arrested with other men accused of having an affair with Anne. She is put on trial where her ladies-in-waiting pull a Shay from Game of Thrones. She is guilty with no evidence, just hearsay and an agenda, and sentenced to death. Anne is disgraced and is executed after her brother. Then we get more info dumping of how Henry continues to be the king of douchebaggery until his death. Then eventually, Anne and Henry's daughter, Elizabeth, ironically becomes the greatest monarch in British history. The end. So overall, the episode is a mixed bag. The pacing and scene weaving is not as bad as the first episode. The writing has very high points and very low points. At low points, the writing is a bit simplistic, and there were some choices that I did not like. I think the highest points were most of these scenes where Anne is locked in the Tower of London and you see her go through all the stages of grief. You feel the claustrophobia shut off from the rest of the world because we get information little by little with Anne. And it does feel uneasy and helpless. So one of the things I don't like about the episode is, I don't know, maybe you'll have a picture of this guy, I don't remember his name, but the guy who's basically her warden that drops information throughout the episode. Yeah, I hate this guy. There's not much to him and not much time given to develop him, so you don't really know if in the end at least he pities her or is a sadistic douche stain. The scene where Anne is understandably freaking out and he comes in and violently overkill restrains her, and I thought that was completely unnecessary. I'm not going to lie. It was very triggering for me. The warden character could honestly just not be written in because his character did nothing except drop information and be rude. Some other character could have filled in like Madge, or quickly bring in someone else like Anne's niece. I'd much rather have more scenes with Madge and Anne or anybody else than Anne in this other trash can. Also, Thomas Cromwell in the episode fell flat for me. In other episodes, I was very neutral about him because he's barely in here. Honestly, as a whole, you could have just not have him at all. That's how little contribution this iteration of Cromwell has, to the point where he's utterly unnecessary. Cromwell was essential to the downfall of Anne Boleyn, but the show is so focused on other things that Cromwell just feels like filler. Like, oh, we need a quick villain now that Henry's gone. By episode 3, he basically resorted to a mustache twirling villain, and not even a great one. The dude does nothing but smirks his way through scenes. Oh, I'm the smartest person in the room. I'm 9 steps ahead. I'm surrounded by idiots. He doesn't give enough to care or dislike him. He's not well written at all, especially the trial scene that should have been his moment to shine, to show what a methodical, conniving antagonist he is. But he fell short because the dialogue didn't have a lot of weight or punch to it. Honestly, it gives off high schooler playing lawyer vibes. The only saving grace is the performances of the women. They're the only ones showing intense emotion, and they play off of each other perfectly. Without any dialogue, these women said everything with their facial expressions. But the scene construction of the trial scene is sloppy and the dialogue was pretty bad. One character who did a great job and also brought a lot of tenderness and added to the tragedy is Madge Shelton, played by Talisa Taishira. Her presence showed how Anne made significant impact on those around her, and she has people that still care about her. I would have liked to see Anne's other friends and ladies in waiting, or like I said before, her niece, or cameos of other family members like maybe her sister, cause why not? It will thematically drive home that this person, Anne, a friend and a family member, and it is a loss that is going to permanently damage the people who have to live with the trauma after the fact. I wish there were more episodes cause I do think it would be great to have more time to see Anne reflect, but it's a lot of information to cram in, so the episode does feel rushed. The episode does a good job with drawing out emotion and tragedy, like you're on this emotional roller coaster. You're there in the trenches. For me, I almost cried because the things Anne had to go through are just unbelievable and upsetting. Anne's scene locked in the tower were the best because Jodie Turner-Smith is flexing her talent onto us, and you are upset, helpless, and trapped with her. But the ending wasn't strong at all. The execution scene should have been the scene to drive everything home, but it didn't. One, they did not let her have her last speech, and I was pretty mad about that. Like, really? We don't get a dramatic exit speech? Not even a, I lived, it sucked, and now I'm out. No flavor, no seasoning, nothing. Just rush through that. Okay, go off, I guess. The rating I will give the episode is a 6.5 for a lot of the weak writing. The acting is the only thing saving it from being lower. It ended on a very weak note and it's disappointing. There were so many things that needed to be fleshed out, but they still made an efficient piece that hits the right emotional core because all the female actresses are coming together and pulling a large chunk of the weight. And the production did a decent job with the visuals, even though they had less to work with, especially in the tower scenes. But that is it for my review for the final episode of Anne Boleyn. Next is the over-review of the entire show, and it will conclude this epic. I'm so ready because I have another video planned after the overview, and I am seething at the mouth to get started on it. Thank you for watching the review. If you want to see more content like this, then please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And continue to call me out of my name, like I know you're going to, in the comments. Also, watch my other fun videos like talking in depth about The Room and how to fix it. Movie recommendations for if you are a Scorpio. The reviews for episode 1 and 2 of Anne Boleyn is also up. So there you have it. I'm going to frolic in a castle before a tyrannical king catches me. See you later.